Okay, y'all, we should be good. I got me a top-notch laptop real quick I had to log into. We should be good. I'm sorry about that. The devil is watching. Don't y'all forget. I'm not gonna give him no attention, none of my energy. But yeah, we back, Kanisha. We back. You know he ain't stopping nothing over here. My daughter home from college for the weekend. I got this top-notch laptop that I got from her, so y'all should be able to hear me good. Look, my laptop is way cheaper than hers. She got a top notch. So I'm so glad she here with us for the weekend. I was able to have her to log me into her account. Well, not her account, but log me in on her tablet, on her laptop. We good. We should be good. Do I sound good, y'all? Do I sound good, y'all? I had people calling me trying to figure out my okay. I'm good. Y'all know I'm a warrior. I'm good. Let's do a sound check and make sure this audio is good. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Sounds great. Good. Thank the Lord. Okay, good. I'm gonna try to give people some more time to come in. So I'm glad we just, I really went over those photos and I kind of cleared up what was put out before. As far as was that picture Rob, was that person the person in the red jogging suit? I'm just glad I got that out the way. So right now I could just merely focus on how my information. And notice I changed the title because I don't need nobody jumping in here talking about, oh, she trying to clout chase off of Trey Game, or she trying to clout chase off somebody. Because y'all is the reason why this community is so screwed up. Y'all are. Y'all are the reason why a lot of these content creators can't come together. Y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all know what y'all doing. All this person in the room ain't bringing nothing to the table, just talking mess, stirring up confusion. Okay, so yes, I'm on another device. And so hopefully I can play the video and she said salt and pepper in the house. Hopefully y'all can play another video, the clip of the video I wanted to show y'all and share with y'all. And when I play that video clip, I'm gonna kind of show you guys how, and not really just Trey Gang's email, but I also agree with John Q and what he put out as far as her being moved from one location to the next. So like I said, I think that this is really important. I think it's really important that we all can just take a moment and look at what we have done so far and stop looking at this thing as a race, but just look at it as, us trying to really pursue justice for Kanika and really trying to come together and see how our information fit. That's all I'm saying. I don't need nobody's name to clout chase off. I would never speak on this particular subject to get clout. Like this is some stuff right here. Like I'm stepping in a deep puddle of doo-doo. Ain't nowhere in the world I would choose this topic and choose to do this to get some clout. Okay, so I'm like, come on now. Ain't nowhere in the world. Let me go ahead and pull up my other device so I can see the chat. Well, I can see y'all right here, but still. John, can you back? Okay, welcome back. How do I sound, John? I'm using my daughter's device. I got to give me one of these babies that she got. But we got to make sure, my daughter is in college, so we got to make sure that they good before we make sure we good. I take care of my seed before I take care of me. Message. Message. Hi, Lady I Spy. Like, I really miss you. I really miss you. I thought that you just don't mess with me no more because, this community is so divided. I'm like, she don't love me no more. This community is so divided. It's tearing people apart. But I'm happy to see you. And I still have so much love and respect and admiration for you. Let me just say that. Nobody can tear that apart. Okay. I feel we are getting closer, Didi, and I feel like that's the reason why people want this community divided. I believe that's the reason why so many distractions. And I believe that's the reason why the devil is trying so hard to attack us and to stop us. Y'all got to believe in the spirit realm. Please believe in the spirit realm how hard he worked to distract us. While my daughter was working over here trying to get me logged in and stuff, I was praying like, Lord, please. We need to come together. This stuff needs to be said. I need to be heard real quick. And I'm back. I'm back. Thank you for the disclaimer, John. Because when I do lives, I tend to forget about the disclaimer. Thank you for the disclaimer. I love you too, sweetie. That's all that matters. Okay, so basically what I wanted to say is like we really need to just be trying to see how the information fit, because whether or not the email came from who it said it came from, it can come from an anonymous person and just use that name. I really can care less who it came from. But to me, he making it make sense. He didn't just put it out there. He actually, making it make sense. And so, like I told y'all, I'm just gonna say this again because this is a new video. The biggest thing for me was like, okay, so what about the walkthrough? You saying that all of this happened to Kanika, but at what point did we actually see her walking throughout the hotel? So what I'm gonna do is play y'all a quick clip of a video that I did yesterday, but I had to take it down because it had some pictures and stuff in there that wasn't correct. It wasn't accurate. So I didn't want to leave that up. So I'm gonna play y'all a quick clip of the video, which to me, may be the first half of what happened to Kanika. And I kind of believe what he's explained or what he has shown us as far as the email, maybe towards the end, between like after 3 a.m. So I believe that our information kind of connects because I'm actually showing y'all a walkthrough that happened prior to 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? And so and I'm also going to show you guys how, she was with one set possibly. Okay. This is just my information from all the digging and stuff that I was doing. How she was possibly with one group that was taking advantage of her and handed over to another group. Okay, so I just kind of feel like and it's also suspect as hell that we see Chandrell Man Wilson. We also see him, and during the time that I believe that she was handed over to the GDs, and it's kind of like he took off run. He just looked real suspect to me. So I kind of feel like the information that he putting out give us what happened after she was handed over, after she was woken up from out the bed and taken into the hallway. And we do have a group of people who outside shooting dice. She wasn't alone in that hallway. She wasn't alone. And if you all think about it, the 2 o'clock, the 2 a.m. and the 3 a.m. have always been the most confusing out of anything. We have statements from both party goers saying, oh, she was missing around 2 something, or she was missing around 3 something, so that then we also have a footage where we see her walking at 2 o'clock, at 3 o'clock. Yeah, I do believe the times and stuff was initially put out there to kind of confuse us and everything. But we also had the news reports, which was saying that and this is in the very beginning, y'all can Google it, which was saying that, for hours straight, she was caught on surveillance walking. Well, my whole thing is that 2 o'clock and that 3 o'clock time slot is important. Which one is it? Did she go missing around 2 something? Did she go missing around 3 something? Or was it both? Or was it both? Did she go missing around 2 something when she left the DoubleTree and we first catch her on camera like around 2:24, trying to find her way back to room 926, trying to find her way to the Crown Plaza, to that room to get her keys, to get her cell phone? Which did she go missing? And that's why we first see her on camera around 2 something. And did she get snatched up out of room or waking up and taken out of room 926 about 3 something? In which we might see her walking throughout the halls, and they have surveillance of that. They might have lured people out who was with her, leading her into the pool area. Do y'all get what I'm saying? If it makes sense to y'all, drop me a 1, because I want to make sure I'm not saying anything that's off. I want to make sure that everybody understand, because we had a 2 o'clock, where we see her, and I'm just saying around 2 o'clock where we see her walking on footage. We have around 3 o'clock where we see her walking on footage. We have some party goers saying 2 o'clock. We have some party goers saying she missing around 3 o'clock. Or was it both? Was it both times? Did we first see her, roaming the halls at 2 something because she's trying to make her way to the room to get her belongings and leave. Because I'm one of the people that believe at some point she was at the DoubleTree. And I'm one of the people that believed it was when she first got there. I'm one of the people that believe that when somebody texts her and she texts back, "Let me be a thought in peace." And I believe when she texts just a few minutes after arriving, because I know that type of lifestyle. Okay, I'm not oblivious to that type of lifestyle. And I'm talking about, and I'm not discrediting Kanika, but I'm talking about far as, you kicking it with somebody or messing around with somebody. And you like, look, I want to just be a thought for the day. I just want to, have me a little drink with my friends, hang out, leave me alone. And I found it also suspicious that when she first got there, she texted she was ready to go. And I know another YouTuber had put it out like, it was a joke. It could have been a joke. Okay, how can you determine if it was a joke or not? She could have been dead serious, like, I'm ready to go. And so I'm just going to show y'all as far as the stuff, because I'm not the kind of person that really ignores certain things. I'm not the kind of person that ignores certain things. I like to leave no stone unturned. So some of the things that I questioned, I have, to me, in my opinion, made it make sense, just putting everything together. So like I said, that 2 o'clock and that 3 o'clock for me is really important. And so I think with the letter and with Trey Gang and everything he's doing, I think he might be showing y'all what happened after 3 o'clock, towards the end of the night. If you guys get what I'm saying, because that's kind of where I left off at. So this is the reason why I say our information kind of aligned. And I needed to say that, because if you guys do listen to his email and what he present, and you guys be, kind of like I was, okay, so when did she ever walk through the hotel? And y'all kind of be confused, then maybe I can help y'all out. Maybe it was prior to what he putting out. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Oh, good, John Q. Okay. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to share this video. Hopefully y'all will be able to watch the video. Y'all be able to listen to the video, because I'm not going to go through everything as far as my explaining why I feel like our information kind of connects. What I'm gonna do is just play the video, because I explained this in a previous video, and I'm gonna end up deleting that video as long as I have a new one out there for y'all to listen to. And all I'm saying is, this is just a possibility. This is a strong possibility that this actually occurred during that time. Okay, so let me go ahead and play that video for y'all. Because like I said, that 2 o'clock and that 3 o'clock, pay attention. That's very important. That is very important, because remember, why would they come out with these two different times when you know what time you last seen your friend? Why is everybody saying, some saying she left the room around 2, some saying she left the room around 3, and we also have that 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock walkthrough. So this is just another possibility I'm putting up. I'm not creating a narrative. I'm not trying to get anybody to agree. I really don't care. So let me go ahead and share that with y'all real quick. And we can get to it. Oh, God. Lord have mercy. I was about to say, I ain't got time for this. Okay, so let me go to it real quick. Play this video for y'all. And I want y'all to drop me a 1 when it pop up and y'all can see it. Drop me a 1 if y'all can see it. See the video. And I'm gonna let the video pretty much do the explaining for me. Okay. I see the ones. Okay, and if the audio is not clear, because I'm getting ready to hit play. If the audio is not clear, I'm looking at my phone. Drop a 2. That's my signal that the audio is not clear. Okay.
I was putting together my information, I actually saw how Trey Gaines' letters actually connect with my information. And this was something I didn't have to force. And and I don't want nobody getting upset because and saying that, oh, Malika is, trying to force. I'm not trying to force nobody information to align with mine. But when I tell y'all, I put together my information and I looked at I had a thought and I said, well, dang, my information and Trey Gang information kind of go together. And I'm gonna tell you guys why. Let me do a rundown on this real quick. I wasn't planning on doing this right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and I'm gonna tell y'all why I kind of feel like my information kind of aligns with his letter a little bit. It really do. Okay, and I'm not going to do the videos or whatever because if y'all follow me, y'all probably already seen the videos and stuff that I put out, and I wasn't actually planning on doing this live today, so I don't have like anything in order. But I just feel like instead of wasting time debunking people because debunks cause confusion, unless it's a healthy way of doing it to where we all kind of like working together, but to kind of like discredit somebody and to do an unhealthy debunk, it kind of caused a lot of confusion. So I think that we should rather kind of like chew the meat and spit out the bones and see like if I go over there and I troll, say for instance Sam channel, instead of me trying to find out what's wrong with what she putting out, I should be looking at what's right about what she putting out and see if what she putting out can confirm some stuff that I found. I think that that's more healthier and that brings us closer to justice versus me going over there trolling her channel trying to figure out if she put out some stuff that's wrong. To me, content creators that do stuff like that, they just don't have no content of their own. So they'll put out a whole video debunking this person because they know if they put their name in their video, first of all, it's gonna bring views. And second of all, it's gonna discredit them. But if I decided to troll another YouTuber, I think what I should be looking for is information that can confirm what I found over here in my little cubby hole. And I think that we can say that that's more leaning towards facts and justice than anything else, than me over there trolling them just to debate with them. So I'm gonna tell you guys why I kind of felt like I had a piece of the puzzle that Trey Gang that goes with what Trey Gang say. Okay, and this is my analysis from my own research, but I'm gonna tell y'all why I kind of think I got a piece of the puzzle from what he put out. Okay, so before I show this, so when Trey Gang first put the letter out, like any other YouTuber, I was iffy. Okay, because I had no idea, first of all, if it was a letter, if it was an email, I had no idea who wrote it, but I also had to use my own wisdom. I'm the kind of person that if I'm very indecisive and I really don't know for a fact, I'm the kind of person that just kind of like stands still. You know what I'm saying? And I try to like observe all sides and take in what everybody is saying and wait till the Lord kind of help me figure it out. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to be led by my emotions. I don't want to be led by what other people are saying. I want to be led by the Spirit. So I was one of the people too that was like iffy, like, dang, is this, true now? I said, well, instead of me discrediting him, I'm gonna see where he's going with this. I'm gonna just sit back and kind of see where he's going with this. Because I think it's kind of wrong for us just to automatically discredit people. Yeah, in that sense, you could say you hate me without kind of understanding or taking the time to see where they kind of going with this. So it was one thing that in Trey Gang and what he was presenting, it was one thing for me that kind of made me. It was one thing that was kind of left out, and I was questioning it. And it was basically anybody that followed him. It was y'all should understand what I'm saying. It was basically to walk through the hotel, and I kept saying like, okay, well, if all of this happened to Kanika, then when do we see her on camera walking throughout the hotel? If anybody understand what I'm saying, or if y'all had that same thought, drop me a one. So one of the reasons why I really couldn't get a full understanding of what he was presenting is because I had no idea where the hotel walkthrough came into play. Now let me see if any of y'all agree with what I'm saying. Okay, so because I couldn't understand that portion of it, I kept saying like, well, I don't know if this is accurate because when did she ever walk through the hotel? Well, I think I might have the other piece of missing information. I think I might have said it and stated it back way months before this letter was even put out. I may have stated it way before this letter was put out in another video. So now when I look at the big picture, it kind of looked like me and this brother information is aligning. And let me show y'all what I mean. Let me show y'all what I mean. And I wrote this out earlier. I wrote this out this morning because y'all know sometimes, especially when you're spiritual, we might have those instances where stuff just hits you and you have to write it down. If y'all know what I'm saying, a spiritual person, sometimes things will just leap in your spirit like it just fell into your spirit from heaven. And all of a sudden you waking up, the veil has been lifted and you have been enlightened and you just have to hurry up and rush and I write everything down. I don't care if it's a dream or whatever. If I think it's revelatory, I write it down. So I wrote this down earlier. Okay, I wasn't going to present it right here because I just want to do a live on Red Hoodie, but since we're talking about it, I'm gonna go ahead and present it to y'all. Now, if y'all can remember, and I put at the top, this was stuff that I wrote down. This is my own personal note, so excuse me if there's anything in here that's wrong or not corrected or written wrong. This is my own personal note. So I put in my notes how my information lines up with Trey Gaines' email. And I put number one. If y'all can remember that video that I did with Irene, I kind of broke down. I did a video maybe a few months back of Irene's, and I kind of broke it down. Not even just Irene's live, but I kind of broke down the whole little setup. If y'all can remember that, drop me a one. And in that video, so I can make sure everybody is on board, in that video, I talked about how I shared another YouTuber's video and talked about how Kanika went one way and the girls went another way. And I kind of felt like she was taken somewhere to another hotel, possibly to the Doubletree Hotel. And I said, I believe that she was texting her girls saying she was ready to go. I also said in that video, that's when Shamaya and Monifa went over there to the hotel, took the pictures in the bathroom. They took her phone, and that's how they ended up with her phone from taking photos. Now, how I got all of this stuff, I don't know. I just feel like it was leaked in my spirit. I'm not trying to create a negative. Some things is just it hit me. It just comes to me without me even meditating on it or anything. It just comes to me. And I said that Bree had already had her keys. And I said that the girls rushed to her when she sent that text, I'm ready to go. Now, a lot of us believe she sent that text to Lenora, but Lenora, she turned around and changed her statement, and so she said, well, no, I didn't get a text. I didn't talk to my sister that night. So I kind of believe that she texted maybe one of them saying she was ready to go. Because remember, somebody texted Kanika and she said to them, bro, let me be a thought in peace. Anybody remember that? Somebody, so let me kind of slow it down for everybody. Both Rico and Tax Free was supposed to be locked up during that time, right? So who texted Kanika and said something to her to where she had to reply, let me be a thought in peace? Right? Correct? And so it was given to us in the beginning that Kanika had some type of relationship or sexual relationship with Mike. We didn't know this. It was thrown out there, right? So I had always felt that when she first got there because of also the rumors that was going around in the very beginning. Y'all know I always felt like the guy with the raspy voice. Let me just say this too before I get into all of that, okay? The guy with the raspy voice has been questioned. The DMX sounding dude who talked about Kanika over the phone. There's been another YouTuber that debunked him and said, oh, he's just wrong. This is false information. Let me tell you why I don't believe that's false information. Okay, let me just say this: that of a somebody who is non-black or somebody who did not grow up in the hood they don't understand this right here. What I'm about to say. Okay, they don't understand this. Okay, so dude with the raspy voice, the DMX sounding dude, right, y'all? Listen to what I'm about to say to y'all. He might have had the person wrong, but the situation he might have had right. Now, people that grew up in the hood and black folks, y'all should know what I'm talking about. It's been plenty of times where my mother called me and said, girl, it was just on the news. A girl I heard on Facebook that these three dudes was outside playing dice and somebody rolled by and shot in the air and they mistakenly killed the little girl. And I'm like, what, mom, for real? She might know the what. She might know what happened. But when I asked her, oh my God, mom, who killed her? Who did the shooting? Who was killed? The person she might have mixed up. So just because we hear the DMX sound the guy say, Ruth Ann granddaughter, that don't discredit what he said. He might have the person wrong, but the situation he might have heard in the streets what happened. It's been plenty of times information has been brought to me from my mother or different people in Detroit telling me about some stuff they heard on Facebook or some stuff they heard in the hood about something that just happened in the hood. But when I asked my mother, when I asked my friends, dang, who got killed? They might have the wrong person. If anybody get what I'm saying, drop me a one. So you can't discredit him and his conversation that was leaked and what he said because he had the wrong person. Many times in the hood, people know what happened, but they just can't say. They might say, I heard that was Ida Mae's daughter or grandson. But come to find out, oh man, my bad. It was actually Ruth Ann's grand. See what I'm saying? They might have the person wrong, but that don't discredit what he said. So you did not debunk him in one bit. So I always felt like what he put out, it sounded so legitimate. It sounded so legit because even when the news was saying that she was found in the lower level kitchen, he was saying, let me tell you, he was found she was in the upper kitchen. He was saying this way back in the beginning. So I've always felt like, even though we don't have a lot of proof of rape, when this dude said that Kanika was stealing somebody at that party, think about it. We got a text message of her saying, bro, let me be a side in peace. When he said that Kanika was messing with one dude, but she wasn't down for the train. For me, that always made me believe that, yes, Kanika was messing with somebody. And according to her text message, she said, bro, let me be a side in peace. So, yeah, she probably was messing around with one dude, but she wasn't down for a train. She was not down for a gang rape. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So, going back to my video that I did, I always believe that because for me, I like to leave no stone unturned. I always believe that she was taken somewhere and, bad to let me be a thought and peace dad, who I thought was Mike automatically because the rumor was that she was messing around with her. And I believe that she was taken possibly to another hotel. And another reason why I felt that way is because when you watch Irene's live and you break down Irene's live, they was definitely watching something on that phone. Nobody could tell me nothing different. You can hear the conversation. They slow essence. Let me.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take y'all to the video real quick of what I was talking about. So in case some of y'all didn't see that, I did a video back a few months back where it says what happened, who did it, and what for. Okay, I did that video, based off of me just combining all my information together. And so I'm just going to play for y'all a second for those who are new, because we have a lot of new people that's just coming into this situation. Why I said I believe that there was some activity that happened. And keep in mind too, you guys, a lot of us in the very beginning We heard it so clear. Now I think a lot of audios and stuff have been, the stuff that we heard in the beginning, I believe it have been replaced. But in the beginning, we heard so clear. And drop me a one because I want to see how many people actually heard it when it was certain conversations that was being had. Like for instance, if you guys heard this, drop a one. If you guys heard Bree whisper to Irene, they in there raping her. And I know it went from they in there raping her to they in there raping that girl. And either way, I felt like they was talking about Kanika. And so we heard Irene say, I told y'all. So we taking it back to the beginning. Okay, because a lot of times, even when it comes to the word of God, God tells me to take it back to the beginning. I have to start back from Genesis. Just because I made it to Acts or Revelations don't mean Genesis ain't still relevant. Sometimes when we get all the way to the end, we have to start all over and take it back to the beginning. Okay, so drop me a one if y'all heard they in there raping her or they in there raping that girl. And because it did go from there and there raping her to there and there raping that girl. And this is a lot. This right here is for all the new people who, might see some video to Irene's live, and that's not as clear as it was in the beginning. In the beginning, that was very clear. And so they tried to say it wasn't Kanika at one point because, they changed it to they're in there raping her to they're in there raping that girl. But let me tell y'all, they still could have been talking about Kanika, even if it was there in there raping that girl. It's times I had conversations with my mother and I was talking about my daughter. And I would say things like, that girl didn't spend all her money on some food. That's still my daughter, but in conversation, me saying, that girl is crazy. You see what I'm saying? So they still could have been, whether it was there and they're raping her or they're in there raping that girl, they're in there raping that girl. They could have been about Kanika. So that really didn't matter. But that sparked a lot of controversy in the very beginning. Like, wait a minute. They said that girl. So maybe it wasn't Kanika. Maybe it was another girl. But we heard this conversation as clear as day. So what I'm going to show y'all is how I put that information back out in the very beginning. This video right here, the information that we heard in the very beginning. But before y'all see that, if you guys can remember too, drop a one if y'all can remember. If y'all can remember in the beginning where we kind of saw it looked like somebody pulled Kanika's arm and she went one way while other people went the other way. So I'm gonna kind of show y'all that, and I'm gonna show y'all a clip of where I believe that they was watching something on the phone, and it was a conversation when the laugh first started. They was laughing. Irene was laughing, and it sounded as if they said they slow effing. So I'm gonna play that clip so you guys can hear that clear as day. And you hear the boy say, let me see, let me see. And Irene passes him the phone. So I'm getting ready to take y'all to that video real quick, okay? And this is just so, we can bring everybody up to speed as to why I came, because I didn't just sit back and create a theory. I used all the information that was given to us and I put everything together, and I'm like, this is what I believe that happened. I mean, and I'm entitled to, feel the way I feel, just like anybody else. Okay, so we're gonna listen to this real quick. And shout out to the lady whose voice that y'all going to hear. It's not my voice in the very beginning. This is a video I got, and I believe her name is Chandra, but I think I said it right here in the video, so I gave her credit for it. If y'all can't hear the
elevator again. And Kanika is still the fourth person. Now watch closely. Watch closely. Watch. Snatch. You see how her hair flew to the side? Let's go back and see that again. Watch. Snatch.
Okay, so we can't ignore the fact that it definitely look. If y'all seen that, drop me a one. We definitely can't ignore the fact that it looks as if somebody pulled her one way or grabbed her arm and pulled her one way while the other girls went the other way. We can't ignore that. So, like I said, I believe that it was something that happened, and I'm going to actually show y'all when Irene laughs start, and this is the reason why everybody believed that it was a rape going on in Irene's lab. We all thought that in the beginning. Who didn't think that in the beginning? I would love to read the comment. Who didn't think in the beginning while watching Irene laugh a rape happened? I believe a rape happened, but I just don't believe it happened right where she was sitting at, right there in that part of the room or where she was sitting at, because her glasses was like reflectors and you can see people in the room. You can see that they was just sitting down. But the fact that something was going on during that time, if you pay attention to the conversation, you could definitely tell something was happening during that time. And I definitely believe what the guy with the raspy voice, the DMX guy, brings me back to his point. I definitely believe that somebody, to let me be a thought in peace. Some people say Rico was there. I can't confirm or deny that. But like I said in the beginning, there was rumors, and I don't know if it was just rumors that she was actually messing around with Mike. So either way it go, going back to the guy with the DMX sounding voice, it was somebody there that she was feeling or somebody there that she was messing around with, but she wasn't for the train. She wasn't for the train. And I believe that this was, the streets talk. So I took that into consideration. If you also remember Keela Brown, she was heavy on this case, heavy reporting on this case. She did one last video. I suggest y'all go back and kind of watch some of her videos. And she talked about Kanika being raped, choked, and she said that she got word from Chicago of what happened to that girl. After that last video, she stopped talking about it. But she definitely called them gangs out and seeing what her friends and stuff did. She definitely said that. She definitely said that she was sold over and handed over to the hotel. She definitely said that. And then she stopped reporting on it. So let me go ahead and play this piece of the video where y'all can actually see, once again, the conversation that's being had. And this is not me making anything up. Y'all gonna hear the conversation clear as day. And this is for anybody that haven't watched it. Watch this video right here. Okay, and they definitely talking about something that's going on that they see on their phone. And I'm showing how she had two phones in her hand. And they was watching something. Well, we don't have to put our trust in Keela. We put our trust in the Lord, but I definitely believe it was something.
Don't always match the glasses. Combo don't match what's going on inside that phone. See, we looking around what's going on inside her glasses, but the combo gonna actually match what's going on inside that second phone, that video that they showing. At the start of the video, the conversation that's taking place is what they are looking at on this phone. If y'all are with me, drop a one. Okay. Watching somebody do something. They watching somebody have sex, and she basically saying, damn, slow your roll, shorty. And somebody is gonna come behind her and say,
they slow effing. And Irene started laughing.
That's in their hand, that video or that lab or whatever that is they watching. That's what he's trying to see. That's why you hear him in the background say, let me see, let me see.
Now, if y'all didn't hear the they slow effing, I'm going to go back to it and play that little part of the video again where y'all can hear that conversation. Pay attention. And also pay attention to the fact, can y'all hear me? Drop a one real quick so I can make sure y'all can hear me. And if y'all also pay attention, when the guy say, let me see, She sit back from the phone because her face is in the phone watching something and they having a conversation. Okay, then when he say, let me see, she pulled back a little and she hand him the phone. Pay attention and peep.
You're funny as fuck. Don't always match the glasses. Combo gonna match what's going on inside that phone. See, we looking around what's going on inside her glasses, but the combo gonna actually match what's going on inside that second phone, that video that they showing. At the start of the video, the conversation that's taking place is what they are looking at on this phone. If y'all are with me, drop a one. Okay. Watching somebody do something. They watching somebody have sex, and she basically saying, damn, slow your roll, shorty. And somebody is going to come behind her and say, in their hand, that video or that live or whatever that is they watching, that's what he's trying to see. That's why you hear him in the background say, let me see, let me see.
Okay, are y'all with me real quick? I wanted to bring you guys up to speed as to why I believe that Kanika was taken, because I do believe that the DoubleTree played a huge role in it. And we have to keep in mind the same person, Shanika Watkins, that rented the room at the Crown Plaza, also rented a room at the DoubleTree on the same nights. We have to keep that in mind. So I believe that DoubleTree played a huge role. And I believe that she was taken there immediately, soon as she got there. And that was something that I pointed out. So if that's the case, when we actually see her at 2:00 stumbling and walking through the hall, is that the point where she was trying to get back to her friends to get her phone and her keys? Just something to think about. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the video where I'm actually explaining how I feel like my information aligns with what Trey put out, or at least, like I said, the front half of it. Okay, so let me go back to that video real quick. Yeah, I mean, I understand that a lot of people feel like, and let me just address that before I get back. A lot of people feel like, KJ was in the room with Irene the entire time. I don't know if that's exactly what you're talking about, Cole Pepsi, because I didn't read the whole conversation, but I'm glad I did see that so I can kind of, put this out there. A lot of times when they have parties, they would all dress alike, or they would have a theme. They would say, this is the Jersey party. Everybody come in a jersey. I've seen that before. If y'all seen that, drop a one, especially with the Vice Lords. I've seen that before. This is an Adidas party. Everybody come wearing Adidas. So if Irene had already been talking about this party, and remember, she had been at the time talking about that party for a while. She even had flyers going on about that party. So who's to say that she didn't say to Kanika and her immediate circle, let's wear blue jeans. Let's wear our blue jean pants and our blue jean jacket. Because think about it, for Monifa not to be invited originally, she showed dressed according to the theme, blue jean pants and blue jean jacket. Hello. She sure dressed according to the theme. So the theme could have been, Irene could have put it out there, because we are friends. We are a set. We are a clique. So we all gonna show up in blue jean pants and blue jean jacket. And some people might feel like that's not right, because, okay, why Shemaya didn't have? Well, maybe Shemaya ain't had no dang on blue jean pants and blue jean jacket, but she sure dressed according to the color. She dressed in her blue and her black. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Monifa wore all black. Kanika wore all blue. Shemaya wore blue and black. Let's make it make sense. So that's why I feel like, far as the way they was color coordinated, and Bree had on black, and yeah, she had on a white jacket. Kind of throws us off a little bit, but she had on her jeans and her jacket. So that's why I kind of feel like it might have been put out there, maybe even at the last minute, to where this is what we're going to wear. And then also pay attention. Monifa had on a jacket with a bra. Kanika had on a jacket with a bra. Okay, so evidently that was put out there for us to dress like this. Do you get what I'm saying? Irene had on a jacket with a half a shirt. So and I'm just putting this out there, if Kanika was set up, what makes y'all think that Irene or whoever else that knew about this setup couldn't put it out there for the girls, for other people to come there dressed like her? It's not far-fetched to believe. It's not far-fetched to believe, because like I said, if you go to Ty Rowland's live, and I actually had it in this video right here, and he's streaming from the same phone, so you cannot tell me that the body shape is different because of the lighting, or because of he's streaming from a camera. He's streaming from the same phone. This supposed to be the same party around the same time. Then why in one Kanika looked real thin with no hips and no butt, and we know she was a little thickums around the waist, and she had a little booty. Watch her old lives. Watch her lives. Why does she look real thin in one, and then you have another piece where you're looking at her and she got broad shoulders? Do y'all know what I'm talking about? I hate for me to have to play that and go back to that, because I've pointed that out plenty of times. So it's not too far-fetched to believe that this was put out there so these girls can dress and look a certain way. It's not too far-fetched to believe that. So me, myself, personally, I just feel like it could have been somebody else in Irene's live, in a background, who looks like her. Or maybe Kanika left afterwards, but I'm so strong about feeling like they were watching somebody have sex on that phone. Now, if somebody want to say they was watching a porno on Malika, I'm still not off, because I told you they was watching somebody have sex. I peeped that out. A lot of times it was really hard for a lot of people to kind of break down Irene's live, because you can't really tell anything suspicious is going on. But like I said, that's why I think spiritual discernment kick in. And I think that's where you really need help from the Holy Spirit to kind of reveal what's really taking place. If you guys get what I'm saying. So I'm just going to stick with this script right here for now. And, I would love to hear y'all opinions and everything. Yeah, Irene had on a sports bra and her jeans and her jacket. So it's not too far-fetched to believe that this was actually put out, and everybody is, the attendees in our circle, this is what we gonna dress. Girl, what you wearing? Blue jean pants and blue jean jacket. Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna wear my black and my blue outfit. You see what I'm saying? Because you actually see photos of them, even if they're not dressed alike, they color coordinated. Okay, so let me see. She looked like a football player, Taz lap. Exactly. I was wondering if it was just me that saw that. And so I actually did a collage where I show all three girls. And if you can't see nothing else, and I want you guys to do this on your own time, and drop me in the comments later if y'all did this and what y'all feel. And I might even post one on my YouTube comment section or commentary section. But I want you guys to just take all three in Ty's lab and put them side by side. The body frame is different. Look at the jeans. Some of the jeans is different. So I always felt like it's not far-fetched to believe that this was the theme of the night, and certain individuals was told to dress this way. I don't think it's far-fetched to believe that. That's all I'm saying. Let me show y'all a cute thing. Remember also Irene did say in her recent live that her party was planned well in advance, months. Sure did, John Q. Thank you. Thank you. And that's why Cornell said, take that D. Yes. And I also mentioned Cornelius in one of my videos before. I just mentioned him just recently. because I really believe, y'all, it was talk around town that it was a rape that happened. Like, can we prove it 100%? No, of course not. If anybody seen this thing that was going on, because there are gang rapes that happen. A 15-year-old prior to this whole Kanika case was gang raped, and they shared it in their private lab. And authorities end up getting a hold to it, and they had to pay the penalty for it. But you have to understand, sometimes they have private groups where they might go live and share the video. It might be a secret video or anything in a private group that we just can't access, that we just can't see. But I've always felt like some type of rape, that Kanika was raped, period, point blank. Even though I can't prove it 100%. And I always felt like it was being recorded. And when the lab first started and that conversation that was happening, you can clearly hear her say, "They slow effing." You can clearly hear that, y'all. And so going back to the beginning, when I actually showed how it looked like she went one way and they went the other way, I really do think that this was all a part of the plan. Take Kanika somewhere else. She was going to end up, and it's been instances, y'all, we done heard about this before, where a girl, agreed to, be intimate with her boyfriend or somebody that she's dealing with, or whatever the case may be. Nigga turn lights off. Next thing you know, his boys is in the room, and so when I heard the guy with the DMX raspy voice say, but she wasn't for the train, and then we could hear conversations in the background. Drop me a one if y'all remember this, where he says she crazy. I'm about, let's be out. Man, y'all rolling with me, let's be out. We heard a dude clearly say, man, she crazy. So I just think this is conversations that we was hearing that was coming through that phone. And that's just, like I said, my own personal belief, because we don't see any action while looking through Irene glasses. And we spend months looking at Irene glasses trying to match the conversation with what was going on in that room. Did we or did we not, y'all? For months. And we like, dang, even though it sounds like, we hear Kanika's voice, like she enjoying herself, like yada, yada, yada. We also hear a dude in the background talking about she crazy, man, I'm ready to go, let's be out. We hear all this other crazy conversation. I even heard, and I got it on this audio too. And excuse my language, Lord, I even heard, I'm fucked up. I even heard that clear as day. And I got that too. Like I said, go back and watch that Who Did It, What For, or whatever video. And you guys are here because I took a little segment of the conversation that was going on in that room, and I tried to make sense of it and say, I think that this was actually, because it's so much that was put together, I had to actually try to take time and dissect it. And so when I hear the conversation that's going on with the boys and what sound like an intoxicated to Kanika, or it sound like somebody that's being taken advantage of, I'm like, yeah, I think this was the point right here where she was somewhere else being raped. And everybody felt that way. That's why everybody started questioning, was it a conjoined room? Even Keela Brown, like I said, we don't put our trust in her, but she went hard in the beginning. She went hard in the beginning looking for Kanika. She had to put her face out there and do videos and speak on Kanika. Just like I don't have to do that today. But at one point, yeah, she could have been distracted or led astray or whatever the case may be. But in the beginning, she went hard trying to find out what happened to that girl. And she started saying, I think they was raping her in the bathroom, or I think that they was in a jointed room, or I think that they was somewhere else. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So we all can agree that during that time, something did go on. I'm sorry, y'all. My voice is getting a little raspy. We all can agree that something did go on. Okay, and we heard it's clear as day, they in there raping that girl. Well, they in there raping her. I told y'all. Okay, so let me go back to, like I said, the live that I did explaining why I kind of feel like my information lines up with other YouTubers. And specifically, I'm talking about Trey Gang in here. And this was the lab that everybody requested that I put back up today, okay? If y'all can't hear anything, if the audio messes up, I'm looking at my phone, so drop me a 2 and I'll make sure I'll try to correct it.
Let me see. and she handed him the phone. So if y'all missed that video, go back to that video, and I think it's entitled "Who Did It, What For," or something like that. Okay, what happened, who did it, and what for? That's the video I'm talking about. So I broke that video down, and I said, Lord, they watching somebody do something. And we actually heard the guy say, let me see, let me see. And we saw the phone being passed around the room. Now, remember, y'all, this was something that I wrote back a while ago, right? The video that I did way before this letter came out, right? Okay. Now, moving along, if y'all are with me, I definitely believe she was at the DoubleTree. And I definitely believe she was being raped back. You know, I believe that she
Video buffering a little bit, y'all.
was, drugged. I believe, and I said in that video, I believe that Monifa drugged her. And if y'all pay attention, Miss Teresa actually gave us a status.
We are experiencing a little bit of buffering.
Where she pretty much said that somebody told her, which I believe she was responding to Monifa's live, that somebody told her they can't say Kanika was drunk because I'm the only one that made her drink. That's Monifa. And I said back then, months ago, that one of her friends, either Monifa or Samaya, when they had her alone, that they were the ones to drug her. Shemai ended up, one of them ended up walking away with her phone. Okay, and they pretty much left her there in that room. Okay, and I believe that she was, and going back to the DMX voice, I believe that she had agreed to, whatever with Michael. She was there with him, but I believe she wasn't down for the train. But anyway, if anybody wondered where the gang rape come in at, I believe the gang rape came in.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit
first got to the hotel, and I believe that they was watching it on the phone, which is another reason why we hear Bree say they in there raping her, and Irene say, I told y'all. If anybody follow me, drop me a one. Now, everything that I'm saying is not only going to make sense, I'm not going to really leave nothing to question. I'm making this stuff make sense, and I'm adding everything up, which even explains why she went right and they went left. Now, some people don't agree with that video because they said, Malika, I don't believe there was other girls there dressed like Kanika. I don't understand why you don't. You saw a girl that came in the last minute with Tyrone and his crew, and she was dressed in blue jeans. Irene, a party host, was dressed in blue jeans. And we also know that when these people, a lot of times when they have parties, they might put the word out, hey, we wear all jerseys. Hey, we wear all jeans. Hey, it's going to be this type of party. Do you get what I'm saying? So they notify their friends, they notify people, this is what we and that night. So if there was a setup and they told Kanika, let me just take y'all man and put y'all man where it should be. If there was a setup and they told Kanika, the theme is blue jeans and a bra, or blue jeans and a tank top, That's how they got her there, and they got the other girl dressed, and that's how they got the other people there dressed like her. Now y'all don't have to believe me, but if she was not the only one there dressed like that, if y'all don't believe me, look at Tyrole's lab and compare them females in there. Because it's the same lab and it's nowhere in the world they should be shaped different. One of them got big, broad shoulders. The other one looked real skinny. Kanika got hair. You can just look at that lab and tell there was other girls there dressed in jeans and a tank top or a bra. Even in Irene's lab, somebody in the background, dressed in jeans and a jacket. That don't necessarily tell me that was Kanika unless I've seen her face and I can say, yeah, that was Kanika. You can't prove to me that was Kanika. Anyway, so I have always said that I believe that, she was taken over there to the DoubleTree, and I said that I believe that she was possibly gang raped over there. And I said, and this is how my information lines up with Trey Gang. So what I put in here, and these was my notes, I said Kanika's taken to the DoubleTree Hotel soon as she arrived. Kanika is drugged by Monifa, and she is raped. And I said Irene is watching the rape on her phone. This was something I put out months ago, right? I said Kanika is seen on surveillance walking back to the hotel. So the missing part of Trey Gang's email is the walkthrough of the hotel, correct? I said months ago, the walkthrough of the hotel that we looking at is her actually making her way back from the DoubleTree to the Crown Plaza to find her keys so she can leave. So the reason why Trey Gang's email don't have the walkthrough part, maybe that was because I got that part. I was the one that understood that her walkthrough could possibly been from her leaving, going out the back way from the DoubleTree, coming into the Crown Plaza. Because remember, y'all, we watched on the news of her walking in the upper kitchen. She didn't walk towards the freezer. Somebody grabbed her and turned her around. So that wasn't the end of the walkthrough. So she could have been walking through, and even when we see her looking in the bathrooms, or she was already drugged, I believe, at the DoubleTree from Monifa. Okay? So we could have been actually watching her, and a lot of times in the beginning, we thought that she was walking through the hotel trying to leave out of the hotel. What if she was walking through the hotel trying to find her way to the room that they all was in 926? When we see her walking on surveillance and we see her on the room floors, what if she's on the floors trying to find her way to room 926 to go get her keys so she can leave? Is anybody following me? So this is the reason why Trey Gang don't have that part. And that's the part that I was missing. So what I said was Kanika seen on surveillance walking back to the Crown Plaza, staggering, trying to find her way to room 926 so she can get her phone and her keys and leave. Right? And I also said that Kanika seen in Ty's live. And I believe in Ty's live, I said in this video that she was trying to force her way in the door, trying to come in the door. Now, in Ty's live, when Kanika is there, we have every reason to believe that a fight could have broke out. She could have been a little rough with people because she's there to find her keys and her phone so she can leave. This could be the reason why we see her sitting on the dresser with like a bloody nose. Remember, Irene said something to us about her bumping against the lap or whatever and passing out. That could have been a tussle because she's trying to get her phone, her keys, so she can leave.
Okay, so do y'all remember that one point of the lab, or I think it was like a snapshot picture or whatever taken, but do y'all remember when we see her actually sitting on a dresser or next to the dresser, should I say, and she have like a towel over her nose, like a towel on her nose? Drop me a one if y'all can remember that, because it's also for the new people who's just coming into this case and wondering why I said what I said as far as, a possible fight could have broke out. And this is just me making it make sense because she was looking for her phone and her key so she can leave. So if anybody remember that, drop a one so we can make sure that you all understand as to why I said, because I know it's been a lot of blurry footages and a lot of stuff that people have been saying, hey, there's a fight right here. So I'm not basing my analysis based off of the blurry footages that everybody putting out, but I'm basing it off of the fact that we do see a short clip or photo of her sitting next to the dresser with like a towel on her nose. Okay. And we did have, Irene did make mention of, her being so drunk that she bumped into the lamp or something like that. Do y'all remember that? Okay, so I just want y'all to be aware of that. I'm not saying that a fight broke out and, a lot of people were saying Mariah was there. Mariah got into a fight with Kanika. We don't even see Mariah walking in the hotel. Now, until somebody actually point out Mariah walking in the hotel, I would never believe that Mariah was inside the room with them and just jumped on her and beat her up. Like, just because we heard new talk about Mariah does not mean that she was at that party and she jumped on Kanika. Because let me tell you one thing, if that's the case, Kanika could have had a lot of ops. I actually believe that all them people was not really friends, but actually ops of hers. But she could have had a lot of ops, that was actually there in that room other than Mariah. Think about it. We had the Gyro Girls and, Tenacia being Crazy Crew, and you never know if they had any type of past run-ins, so if a fight did break out and Kanika was hurt or got hit in the face or knocked in the nose or anything, it could have been anybody that did that to her. So I'm not basing it. Matter of fact, I did this long before people started throwing out the theory that Mariah jumped on her. I'm just gonna put that out there because I've been hearing a lot of talk that Mariah beat up Kanika inside the room, and we see it in Taz's lab. I don't see Mariah being there at all. To tell y'all the truth, I don't see her being there at all. So we need to be, questioning what people was putting out there. When they say that, we need to turn around and say, okay, well, can you show me Mariah on surveillance actually going into the Crown Plaza? Because I don't see her. Okay, but I basically based that off of the fact that, it was a what if moment. What if she was looking for her car keys and her phone so she can leave? Because like I said, at the same time, she wanted to leave a long time ago. She was trying to leave a long time ago. So what if she was looking for her stuff and a tussle or something did break out, and that explains why she's sitting next to the dresser and have a towel or a face rag over her nose. Okay, what if there was a bump into the lamp or something like that, but it wasn't because she was intoxicated, it was because it was a tussle, or what I'm saying? So it was kind of like a little what if moment, but it definitely had nothing to do with the information that's being put out today. I want to just say. Okay, so let me go back to the video. Seems like when I stop and start it over, I get a little bit buffering. So if it's buffering a little bit, don't worry about it. It'll clear itself up.
Throwing that out there. So when Taz laughs, how can I say this? We see the tussle, or we see it look like something happened to her because it's like she got a towel over her nose, like something happened to her. But I believe because she was intoxicated at that point, that's when she passed out and went to sleep. I believe that's when she passed out and went to sleep. And at some point, the laugh had ended. So while Kanika was passed out on the bed, the laugh had ended, right? Now you have GDs coming in at 3 o'clock. Follow me, y'all. I need y'all to go with me where I'm about to take y'all. Go with me, y'all. She passed out on the bed. The girl had been drugged over at the Doubletree. She had been raped. She had been walking for a while, close to an hour, trying to find her way to the room, looking for her keys and her phone so she can leave. She didn't get into a quick tussle with somebody. Bam. She just fell up against the lamp. Bam. She passed out on the bed. She sleeps. Now, the other set start coming in. It's a dice game going on outside the room. Monique forget to go ahead. She picked Kanika up off the bed, take her outside the room, hand her over to the GDs. Now, this is where Trey gains information. They line up with my information, and they take her to room 609. Either take her to room 609 or they take her to the pool area, or both. They take her to the pool. area. Some stuff happened in the pool. Now, the rape, I believe, happened with more than.
Okay, let me just say this to Asumar. Let me just say this. If Kanika was, I'm gonna read this comment that you said. If some say Kanika was flipped into the game. Those of us know you don't just walk out of the game, you get flipped out also. That's why Kanika texted this 7 to 8 minutes. Kanika said, I'm ready to go. And then somebody else said, I think Kanika was ready to leave because all the ops was there. Okay, and we all can agree at some point that she flipped. Okay, she was born to breed. The next thing you know it, because that's what threw me off when I first started investigating this case. You know, she was born into the breed life. And then at some point we start hearing her say O'Neal. So I was really thrown off by it. And I'm like, wait a minute. So did she become a vice lord? Then we found photos of Rico actually confessing to have flipped her. And Kanika, let me just say this too. Kanika is not the first or the last who have alliances or who flipped from one game to the next. She's not the first, she's not the, and she sure probably wouldn't be the last. It have been known to have happened before. And we also have to keep in mind that Kanika's mom in her days was a breed, and her dad, and she tweeted this. It's not coming from me. She actually tweeted this and gave us some insight. Her mom was a breed. Her dad was a four-corner hustler. So she had both of those in her, or should I say, you know, she had the option, you know, to hang with either set because of who her mom and her dad was. But I definitely agree with you. You know, once you in it, it's supposed to be a once you win it, you win it for life type of thing. But you know, we have to understand too. That's the reason why I kind of broke down the games, because things have changed so much since back then. You know, nowadays, and especially with Chicago, you know, about her moving to Austin and about her hanging around a certain crew now, you know, she can't really be claiming they ops. She can't really be throwing up 1300 Anna and claiming her set, and you know, she around a whole gang or group of people in a different neighborhood. Do you get what I'm saying? And she dating a guy who's a vice lord. So things is different now. This is the reason why we see two different sets or two different games align, when before they was oppositions to each other. But once you relocate to this neighborhood, you know, you really don't have no choice but to either get down or lay down, if y'all get what I'm saying. And so that's possible, you know, that she was jumped or beat up on, you know, by the GDs because, you know, she ended up flipping. But I think if that was the case, it would be more so the breeds would have a problem with her walking away from them and now joining a vice lord. So now if she was set up or beat up or jumped by the breeds, then I could say, oh yeah, they did that because she left them and she flipped to a vice lord. Do you get what I'm saying? But that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. So you know, it could have been a part of, you know, her, you know, if you want to officially become a vice lord. Now I can understand if you said, if, you know, if you want to officially become a vice lord, you have to get jumped in or something like that. You get what I'm saying? But as far as them attacking her because she left one set and flipped to another, that would be an issue that the breeds will have with her for flipping, not them. Let me refresh because I don't see nobody comments. Y'all get me? Do y'all feel what I'm saying? Okay, hold on. I gotta refresh my thing so I can make sure y'all following me. When you in a game, you can't hang with opposition. But see, that's what I'm trying to tell you, King. Nowadays, what we might, especially in Chicago, what we might feel is their opposition are actually their alliances. Do you get what I'm saying? Because nowadays it's basically based off of territory, the area. Because matter of fact, go back and watch that video that I just did, that I put out, where I kind of broke down the games and I kind of showed that once these projects was demolished, you know, now these gangs who were once oppositions of each other are now alliances. So we have to look at things from what's going on there. Now in LA, if you a blood, you a blood. If you a crib, you a crib. If you a folk, you a folk. You see what I'm saying? And you are my opposition. But we have to understand Chicago's history and how some of these so-called who was ops before, how did they begin to align and how did they begin to mix? And in that video, I showed you guys a picture. One of the pictures, it tells it all. I showed y'all a picture of Killer, who is a traveling vice lord, in the picture with, was it Daquan? Was it Quan? I showed y'all a picture. Who's a GD? So that right there is proof in the pudding. I showed y'all another picture of Mike, the Chester Mob crew, I guess you could say, along with Quan. And Quan is a GD. So how are they able to get along and to come together? Y'all have to, if y'all have not watched that video, please watch that video. Queen of Jacks did an awesome job putting that together as far as narrating the history and showing it. Well, I narrated it, but as far as her putting together the history and showing us the history and how these different gangs who we may think that are ops, because that's how it was back in the day. But she showed you guys how they became alliances and what made them align together. So please, y'all, go back and watch that video and thumb me up, Jack. Tax-free was the breed. Watch out. Tax-free is the breed. Not was, but tax-free is the breed. Okay, Monifa is the breed. And I think tax-free is also in that that video that I just did too. Because I think, from my understanding, she didn't leave nobody out. It was one particular person who been following this case. I'm not going to say his name, but wake up, Rosemont. I think he was kind of mad because he didn't get put into the video. He was kind of mad because he was left out. But, to us, he's not really relevant. He's not really a factor. So, but I think he's the only one that was a little bit mad because we didn't shed light on him. And, so let me stop. Y'all didn't hear that. That was a moment that I should have been buffering because I probably shouldn't have said that. Y'all didn't hear that, did y'all? Drop me a one for those that heard what I just said, because I'm really hoping I'm buffering right now. Y'all didn't hear that. But other than that, everybody else was actually added, into that video right there. And we have them listed as under what set they rep and who's aligned with who. And we also had the chart, but you guys couldn't really see it because it was kind of blurry. We had a chart showing who was related to who used to date who. Like, we got all that information, which is really good because we need to understand how these Chicago sets in particular, how they operate today. And then one thing that she put in there, and everybody have to understand, is money will bring anybody together. As long as we don't have any personal beef, or you're not taking money out my pocket, or you not disrespecting my set, we cool. We cool. We have to be cool because we live right down the block from each other. We live directly down the street from each other. So you have to understand, once these buildings tore down and these gangs was mixed together, if they did not join an alliance with each other, it would have been gang wars every day. We live literally blocks down from each other. Okay, you ain't hear that? Could be nothing. I spy. Okay. Okay, I'm glad y'all didn't hear that. I think that one person was kind of mad that he was left out, but it's all good. Everybody else we spoke on. Everybody that was relevant, we spoke on and we pointed out. So that's one thing. That's why I say that video is really relevant, and it is relevant to us understanding how, if they, which was a big thing over us, like how could they party together, and if they would actually join together to do something like this, So you know, like John said, the gang portion is a really huge piece to this case right here, because this was not just all the hotel doing. The hotel did not just see a black girl walking through stumbling and decide to snatch her up, even though it's 300 black people in a hotel that day. We just gonna go ahead and start a war and just snatch one black girl up because we see she intoxicated and her friends don't care about her. If y'all believe that story, I don't know what to say to y'all. I don't know what, because that would have been a wrong day. Now, I'm not saying the hotels don't make moves like that. Maybe they do, especially if they into organ trafficking and stuff like that. Yeah, they probably do. But they'll probably do that on a slow day. Not a weekend, on a slow day, like on a Tuesday or Wednesday, where a young girl, you know, was there with her boyfriend, or not even her boyfriend, was there with her girlfriends, and it's not that many people in a hotel, and one girl wander off to the soda machine, and next thing you know, she snatched up. I could see it more on a slow day, but you talking about on a day where it's 300 black people walking through that hotel in and out, that the hotel just decided, let me snatch up this one girl. And because y'all don't feel like the gang is involved, right? So how can you say I'm just gonna snatch up this one girl and just start a war with all these black folks up in here? Because as soon as they find out their friend went missing, what it's gonna do? It's gonna start a war. I mean, if you a real friend, if you really gangster, if you really from the hood, nobody should have been able to just snatch up your friend and a war didn't break out. It would have been a racial war. It would have been a war of class. You know what I'm saying? Low class versus the middle class. It would have been a war that would have broke out. Just think about it, y'all. If you and your friends went somewhere and one of your friends showed up missing, baby, it's about to be a war up there. And then we know that me and my friends was inside of this room at that time. None of us got anything to do with this. We would have not only been knocking on doors, but walking up in them boys. Okay, y'all gonna have to call the police. There's gonna be some arrests being made on the scenes because we want to know what y'all did with our friend. Do y'all get what I'm saying? They was just much too calm. They know the girl didn't have no car keys, so she couldn't have left. They know that she wasn't nowhere within the perimeter where they can actually see her. They know that she didn't have her cell phone. It would have really been an issue if you really felt like the hotel just could have snatched her up. Oh, no, our boys ain't about to leave. We about to tear this boy up. Is what we about to do. I mean, I just can't see it being from Detroit. I didn't hear room parties. I had my 17th birthday at a room party where I had everybody from the hood up there. If I would have went missing or something would have happened to me, I know my homies would have tore that hotel up looking for me. I know they would have. Because these was my friends, my real friends, my people, my day ones, people I hung out with for years. People that knew me like the back of my hand, because if I would have went off with a dude, this is how you know them girls is lying. If I would have went off on a quick little mission, what we used to call a mission back in the day, I would have told one of my girls. One of my girls would have known that I'm getting ready to go I might get ready to go do this little mission or hit this little lick or go meet up with such and such or grab this money from such and such. At least one of my girls would have known. Hello, drop me a one if y'all can feel me. None of my people in there would have been questioning where am I at, what's going on, especially I'm drunk too, and I'm drunk. One of my friends would have known, oh, she was drunk, or she went to go meet such and such, she'll be right back. So for everybody, for all her girls to say, we don't know what happened to her. If Irina just say, oh, she lost, y'all go find her. If everybody up in that room is innocent and all of y'all friends have been day ones for years, y'all should have tore that hotel up looking for her. Nobody should have walked out that door. When we see them leaving out at 4 o'clock, Kanika was already missing. We were supposed to start a riot up in this piece. Do y'all hear me? Like, none of this makes sense to me. If you was even in the hood, let alone born and raised in the hood, none of this will make sense to you. And you will be able to feel everything I'm saying right now. And that's just period. We would have tore that boy up. So, you know, when people telling me, or when I hear people say, you know, why y'all keep looking at the friends? The friends had nothing to do with it. This was all a hotel. How the hell did the hotel get access to her if she just sitting outside the room? So you mean to tell me that how did they take her if she just outside the room? And she was only out there for a couple of minutes. First it was a couple of seconds, then it turned into 15 minutes. It ain't take you 15 minutes to go in that room and get her phone. You already knew the keys wasn't in there. And if y'all claim the phone was used for music or something, the phone was right there. It would have took y'all 5 seconds to, and it would have took 2 of y'all to do it. Only thing the friend's wrong with is leaving a friend. No, the friends is wrong for conspiring to hurt this girl, for turning their head and not, you see what I'm saying? I understand that their safety was in jeopardy too. I do believe that. I do believe the messages that was put out in the very beginning saying that, you know, if it wasn't going to be Kanika, it was going to be Kanika, Kanika, Monifa, and Shamaya. So they pretty much did what they had to do. And y'all, like I said, those was messages that was given to that Instagrammer back in the beginning. You could definitely tell it was written by somebody from Chicago. I believe a GD who actually was mad that we was calling her queen and felt like, no, she ain't no queen. She did something to us. She took something that belonged to us. She was supposed to get that money back to us, but she was bullying around. She was messing around. So this is what niggas did to her. You know, and if it wasn't just gonna be Kanika, it was gonna be Kanika, Shamaya, and Monifa. So they basically did what they had to do to kind of get niggas off their necks. So miss me with that friends don't have anything to do with it. I'm just saying, like, y'all seriously can miss me with that. They didn't tear that hotel down enough for me. Thank you, Watch Out Squad. They did not take it serious. They did not take it serious. There's no way she went missing and y'all go back to partying. And this is supposed to be y'all good friend. I couldn't see it. So when people saying that, you know, they wrong for leaving her, they also wrong for not taking the situation serious. Nobody should have left. Because this should have been a 911 call. You know, gathering all black people, gathering all our people, gathering all thugs, gathering all hoods. We can come together to party. Let's come together to find our friend. One of these people up in here snatched her. Let's get to knocking on some doors. We can come together to party, but we can't come together to find Kanika. Come on now. How you gonna, it don't even make sense to me that you would drive all the way from Chicago to Rosemont to this party and only stay at the party for a good 30-40 minutes. That's how you know that it was another party going on at the DoubleTree or something. You know, they had that room over there anyway, so that probably turned into a party. Just because we see them leaving outside of the Crown Plaza 30, 40, 50 minutes later do not mean that they didn't go next door and party over there. Because you have to remember, when you're driving from the city to the suburbs and you hot, you've been drinking, you probably got some weed on you, you probably got a record. Niggas don't like driving like that from the city to the suburbs. Unless we feel like we about to, you know what I'm saying, turn up for a while or whatever, have a good time and then head back. But I'm not about to take that risk and I'm only there for a good half an hour. They did what they came to do and they bust up, is the way I see it. This is just the way I see it, y'all. So I'm gonna go back to playing this video. Like I said, it might buffer a little bit, but hang in there with me. It'll get better.
GDs at the DoubleTree. I mean, not the GDs. I'm sorry, the Vice Lords over at the DoubleTree. But now room 609 could be where the GDs have fun with her. Quote unquote.
And remember, we got room 609 from Peasy. We got room 609 from Peasy. And so we don't know if, because like I said, I believe that walkthrough that's not explained, and just to kind of give y'all an overall, that walkthrough that's not explained in Trey Gang's email, I believe that happened prior to what it is he's pointing out. And so for me, it was kind of confirmation, like, dang, I'm just saying, if his email is correct, then here go my walkthrough that I was looking for. Because I couldn't make sense of his email and what he was presenting to match it because of that walkthrough part. That part was not, and I was seeing what people were saying, oh, that was never heard. And I never believed that, what people were saying. See, that I told y'all that was never heard walking through. She actually was walking through the hotel. She was intoxicated. She was. And then people was taking screenshots and they was like, why she smiling? Why she looking up and smiling? Have y'all ever seen somebody that was drugged and intoxicated and how they face just, you never know. She could have been seeing birds floating over her head and she looked up like, with a smile. That girl she was toe up and trying to find her way, I believe, the entire time to get her keys and her phone so she can get up out of there. But once they took those two important elements, it was not, they left her vulnerable, y'all. It was nothing that she could do to free herself from that situation. Nothing that she could do. It was nothing that she could do. They left her vulnerable. Can y'all even imagine being in a situation where you want to leave and you want to go? Your friends is having fun. Your friends is partying. You ready to go, but you don't even have your keys so you can leave. You don't have your phone. You can call your mom or your sister and say, can somebody just come pick me up? Can y'all find somebody to come get me? Because they gone. I can't find my keys. I'm messed up. Can y'all imagine? Like, that breaks my heart even thinking about how she was left so vulnerable. It's no way she should have been without her car keys and her phone. That, to me, right there, spell set up. Now 24 could have very much been used. Now 24 could have very much been used. 609 could have been used. 11th floor could have been used. You know, so me actually giving y'all my piece of it is not saying, yeah, she was 100% taking a 609. But because I also look at things from a numerology and geometry standpoint, I know what 69 means. Okay. And if anybody, and if y'all been following me and watching my videos, I even did a video on Malia Davis and I showed y'all what 6'9" mean. And so if any of y'all remember me talking about the number 6'9", 7'11", 9'11", drop me a 1. So the reason why I believe that 6'9" is very important. 609, I believe it was actually being utilized. Because like I said, I also look at this thing from a spiritual standpoint. So when I see the 36-hour footage, I understand that 36 hours is really 3 sixes, 666. When I combine room 924, room 926, you get 6. Well, if you add the numbers up, 926, you get 6. I think it's 16, but you'll get the 6. If you add up 924, you get the 6, and they was on the 9th floor. Flip that 9, you get another 6. So I see 666, 69, 711, which is what me and All in the Name was just talking about, and 911 all over this case. So when I look at things from a spiritual, because that's a spiritual standpoint, you got to understand the occult life. You have to understand Kabbalah. You have to understand geometria. And so not only do I have like this spiritual discernment and a little wisdom that the good Lord gave me, but I also understand some things when it comes to the occult life. So when Peasy mentioned room 609, that was my 69 right there. I already have seen 666 clear as day. I done already seen 711 clear as day. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So when he said 609, I'm like, oh, that goes 69 right there, 69. And I ain't talking about 69 in a nasty, freaky way, y'all. Y'all have to go back to my other videos to understand what I mean by 69. You know, how, you know, you will see an agenda. That's how I know these people were working with the higher ups. For me, looking at stuff from the spiritual side was my confirmation that they were working with the higher ups, and things were actually done according, you know, certain times was done according, and certain rituals was probably done according to numerology. So me, myself personally, I'm probably one of the only YouTubers that did it, because I know a lot of YouTubers, they be looking at stuff as far as what they can see according to the natural. Then you got the other YouTubers who look at stuff and pinpoint out geometria and the occult ties and things like that. I've done both. Holla if y'all hear me. I've done both. I looked at things from both sides. So, yeah, because I believe that God gave me the gift to be able to see things from both sides and be able to share that with y'all. from both sides. That's why I have a lot of followers who came to me because of, I was pointing things out as far as the numerology and the gematria and things like that. And that's why they decided to, follow me. Like, she knows what she's talking about. And I also have people that follow me because I was making sense of what they could see in the natural, but they couldn't understand. You get what I'm saying? So that let me know right there that the lower level of the pyramid was working with the higher level of the pyramid according to the numerology. So let me get back to the video. I'm sorry that I kind of took y'all off a little bit. Thank you. The elites, I'm glad you said that. The elites use numbers to communicate. Exactly. So when we hear Peasy saying room 609, I believe that, it was the reason why he said room 609. Not only was it probably somebody in room 609, but they also probably used that room to do a ritual or just to occupy that room. So they can't have that numerology, that certain energy, because everything is about energy, y'all. Please believe. Especially when it comes to the occult life and trying to, you know what I'm saying, spiritually up yourself, to take yourself to another level or attract money or whatever. It's all about energy when it comes to them people. So, I looked at things from both sides, and that right there showed me the connection from the lower level and the higher level. And nobody could tell me nothing different when it comes to them being connected and aligned. Okay. Plus no car. Exactly.
Quote fun with her. Do y'all get what? It's the whole separate game. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Because if there was some kind of payback or retaliation or something that they want to do to make her suffer, the vice lords had their part with her, which Mike could have initiated. Now you have, she passed out on the bed. Monifa take her, they put her in the hands of the GDs. They take her somewhere and they have fun with her. They end up in a pool area. I believe it was Man who pushed her in the pool and took off the hell running. Because look at the time stamp. Okay, something happened in the pool area. The security find her down there, put her in a freezer. And I also strongly believe in
and she probably wasn't taken directly to the freezer. She probably was taken in place somewhere. And this is, like I said, this part right here, this is not for me to put the pieces of the puzzle together, because this is Trey Gang's information. This is what he discovered or where he's putting out. So I don't want to just kind of speak for him when he's still doing his research. I don't know where he's going with it, but really I just wanted to kind of show you guys that the missing part of what he's putting out, the walkthrough, I believe that I explained that happened prior to what he's explaining, because at some point she probably was tired, intoxicated, and passed out on the bed and was waking up and taken outside that room. But that could have been all a part of the plan. So at some point she was taken outside that room. And we also have in the hallway, we have 3 guys that we know of. It could have been more. And we have Wayne, Sticks, and Quan. So they shooting dice. So what really stands out to me is that we have 2 vice lords, one in the black hoodie, and we have a GD. Okay, outside the room. Could they have taken her somewhere, and I say room 609 or the pool area, and in return, this is what Trey Gang is presenting. So for me, I said it's possible that I might have like the first half and and I couldn't explain what happened once she was taken out that room, and it's probably what he's explaining. That's just the way I'm my mind work, and I'm just wondering. But I'm still sitting on the edge of my seat, waiting to see what he gonna come out with. Okay, but I do believe that she was taken somewhere, and this is where the hotel come in at. I do believe she was taken somewhere, locked in somewhere, so they can kind of remove the evidence or remove what happened to her. And as John Q say, now my information aligns with John Q, but I just totally agree with John Q that she was her body was moved via the dumpster, or some people believe a trash bag. That's not far-fetched. I believe she was moved. I'm more leaning towards what John Q say because of the time and everything, and the way he so brilliantly broke down the fact that, you know, she had some debris on her that was inside the dumpster. So this is the reason why I think it's so important, y'all, for us YouTubers, the ones that have really been serious about this case, to come together and make it make sense. We can do our own MTV documentary. We can call it the conspiracy theories document presentation of Kanika Jenkins. Okay? Hello, how many of y'all would love to see that? I bet y'all won't be as disappointed with our video than y'all would be with as y'all was with MTV, because we're not gonna say it was an accident. We're gonna show y'all that she was murdered, and how and when and what and who. Like, if we was to all put our pride aside and we collectively sit at the round table and try to put together a documentary, something that we was kind of satisfied with, that kind of brought this case closure, though, we will really see the true colors of those who's not J4K. We will really see their true colors, y'all. Yeah, or might have been moved in a laundry bin. Exactly. Watch out, squad. That's another great point. So I just think that we have a lot, y'all. I think we getting closer and closer. And I think that all the Lord wants is for us to unite. He is one of the things that the Lord hates is discord. I've spoken on this. I've said this before. That's one of the things he hates is discord. Look at the body of Christ, how it's so divided. That was the enemy's tactic, to divide the body of Christ like that. That's why you got churches of all different denominations. That's what the enemy do. He divide people. Because if I can divide, united we stand, divided we fall. If I can divide y'all, I can make y'all fall. Because if y'all come together, y'all can stand strong and get some stuff done. So it's not about me chasing clout off of his name or getting clout off of his name. I want to align myself with all YouTubers who's serious and see how we can come together and make it make sense and bring closure to this case so she can rest. We want her to rest. What are y'all talking about? How many of y'all want Kanika to rest? Let the people know out there, we're not doing this so she can't rest. We're doing this so she can rest. Ain't nobody putting their life on the line and jeopardizing they self and using all their energy and all their time when they can be doing something else for no clout. Thank you. We want everything to be done decently and in order. And if we don't, and here we go with that stand and fall again, that stand and fall. We done heard so many quotes about standing and falling. If we don't stand for something, we'll fall for anything. So y'all, I'm telling y'all, when the atmosphere is really at its most powerful point, is when the humanity is aligned. Is when we align, and we align, and when the stars align. When alignment, y'all, that's powerful. That's alignment can move the earth, can shake the earth. So I'm not trying to align myself with people to kiss no butts or to get clout or to gain no fame off y'all name. I can care less about all that. I could have did a cooking channel. I'm a bad cooker. I could have did a cooking channel and got some clout. But I decided to put more of my energy into helping these victims. But alignment is so powerful. Y'all have no idea how powerful alignment is. And I just feel like until we get to that right there, this will always be looked at as a competition and who is the best and who is the greatest versus, you know, her actually getting justice and we actually fighting to get justice. And you know, some of y'all, and not my followers, not the ones who've been following me, because for some reason, like, I love y'all spirit, like y'all got really good spirit, but it's some people out there that's really stirring up drama, you know, and trolling these channels and keeping the confusion and distractions going because they do not want us to lie. They understand how powerful alignment can be. And that's why I give so much love and I love John. I love John because he's been trying for months to bring YouTubers together because he understands how powerful alignment can be.
What John Q put out as far as the hotel removing her from one freezer to the other so they wouldn't be liable. If anybody follow me, drop me a 1. Hands her off, go back and stay at the party. Once she's thrown into the freezer, everybody started leaving, everybody started walking out. Some people go back to partying. The GDs got ghosts. Okay, the GDs got to go. Once she was pushed to the pool, and this is the reason why I did not understand Trey Gaines' email because I couldn't understand a walkthrough. But what if the walkthrough happened prior? Is what I'm trying to get y'all to see. What if the walkthrough happened prior to what he's presenting, or to what was presented in that email / letter? Do y'all get what I'm saying? So this is the reason why I think that our information do kind of connect, because if it's, if he can't explain a walkthrough, it's possible because, as I said months ago, maybe the walkthrough was her leaving from the DoubleTree trying to find her way to the to the room that everybody was in. And remember, I kept saying that they was playing games with her. I think that Bree was playing games. I think that Bree left because she knew somebody probably notified her and said Kamika is in the hotel. She's trying to find her way to the room to get her keys. And she bust up and made sure she wasn't there. Let's just say about 2:30, she walking through the hotel trying to find her way to room 926 to get her keys. Bree sneak out. Bree bust up with the keys. So now she at the room where Tynam is at.
And also could explain why Mike left. If Mike initiated or started a gang rape at another hotel with her. Because if you pay attention to that walkthrough, y'all, she even pulling her pants up. And it kind of looked to me, as somebody pointed out before, I don't know if it's true or not, but just throw it out there. Somebody pointed out before, it looked like she, her bra was kind of down a little bit, or she might have fixed her bra or anything. So when I look at the walkthrough now, I see somebody who have been taken advantage of, should I say, and so this is the reason why I said maybe what I'm speaking and what I have is maybe the first half of what happened, and what he's showing is after the fact, once she did sleep it off, or once that stuff did knock her out to the point to where she was laying on the bed sleep and taking out the room. Maybe he's showing, what the GDs did or what the different people did, because I do believe they all, don't get me wrong, I do believe the Vice Lords, did have some kind of part in it. But as far as the GDs, they had a part, they played a big part in it too. And I just couldn't, and I'm just getting, this is the reason why I'm where I am today, because I'm just getting the understanding that of the times that they walked in, first of all, who they are, the times that they walked in, the times that they left, who looked at suspect to me, so that's just really what I wanted to point out. I think I really said enough as far as how I think that our information kind of aligned. I just really think it's important for us all to kind of come together and put it together, and I hope you guys can also see the big picture, because, a lot of us got small pieces of the puzzle, but until we put this puzzle together, we'll never see the big picture. And that's exactly what the enemy wants. Yeah, somebody said her breast was out. Exactly. And so until we put the pieces of the puzzle together, we will never see the big picture. Okay, so I'm just going to read a couple of y'all comments and stuff and chat with y'all for a little bit, and then I'm going to get ready to get up out of here. We'll have a quick discussion, and then I'll get ready to get up out of here. And you know what, alleged, it's not even a new theory. Like, it's something that I had worked on months ago. And so it's just really me taking my piece of the puzzle and adding it to his piece of the puzzle, and then adding that piece of the puzzle to John Q piece of the puzzle. Now we not a set, we not a gang. We don't really talk about the case behind the scenes, and we not, we not putting no stuff together behind the scenes. This was all my doing. This was really all my doing. So I just took my piece, I connected it to his piece, and I connected his piece to John's piece, and I said, God, this puzzle's starting to come together. It's starting to come together. Drop me a one if y'all feel like it's starting to come together. Which GD said, do I think was at the other hotel? I don't think the GD said was at the other hotel because, they could have went there afterwards, but I think they were possibly in another room. And the only reason why I say it's a strong possibility that they was in another room is because, of course we don't see them in Ty's lab because it ended already. So we just see them coming in, but we never actually lay eyes on them being in room 926. So it's a possibility that they were in another room because we have room 609 that was mentioned by Peasy. We have the 11th floor that was mentioned. And so it's just a possibility that they were in that hotel, but in another room. And only because we can't lay eyes on them being inside of that particular party with them. You know what I'm saying? So, but as far as the DoubleTree, I really don't know. I really can't say who was actually there at the DoubleTree. I can say that, the BDs was at the Marriott at a certain day because we got footage of that. We got evidence of that. I can say that the GDs walked into the Crown Plaza at a certain time, left at a certain time because we got footage of that, evidence of that. But what we don't have is evidence of who was at the DoubleTree, what time was they at the DoubleTree, what time did they get there. So certain things we just don't, we don't have evidence of and we can't prove. But we know when it comes to the GDs that it's a possibility that they was in other rooms because it was other rooms mentioned to us. And so I do think there's a possibility that they was at the Crown Plaza just in another room. And I do believe that the DoubleTree was being utilized because they wouldn't have rented out both hotels for the same nights if the if the DoubleTree wasn't being utilized. But who exactly was it utilized by and who exactly had that hotel over there, I don't really know. Which sucks that we couldn't get footage of it. That suck. I feel like more people will start coming forward by reaching out. Let me see, your thing just moved. By reaching out to YouTubers instead of the law. I really hope that that's so, Didi. I really hope that's so. I think that, pressure busts pipes. And I think if we start applying the right pressure, then maybe we will get more anonymous tips, should I say. And that's all good to me. If anybody want to leave me an anonymous tip, and it will be, let me tell you something, it will be carefully looked over, not just by me, but by my trusted sources to see if your information line up and what you're saying is true. But you can always send me an anonymous tip, baby. I won't expose you unless you say you want to be exposed and you want out. If you want, let me just put this out here too. If you want out of that life and you feel like you have no help to get out, send me an email. You can send me an anonymous email. If you agree that we are on to something and we're applying some heat and some pressure and you want no part of it, or you want to confess, or if you even feel like you need to just cleanse your spirit by getting some information out, send me an email. And I do have some people who I believe that if I went to and we together can get you out, together we can help you. And this is sincerely from the bottom of my heart. I don't hate none of y'all. I just hate what y'all did to Kanika. I just hate what y'all did to Kanika. I remember that. Thank you, Carlos Johnson. Okay, I'm so glad, Carl. Let me put your comment up here. Let me show your comment on the screen. I'm so glad, Carlos Johnson, because you know what, Carlos? I said this a long time ago, and I don't know if people actually caught that. Y'all, look at Carlos Johnson comment. I actually brought this up a long time ago. The lawyer said in the beginning, and I remember the police making a statement in the beginning that Kanika was spotted in several nearby hotels. I can no longer find a video myself, Carlos, but if anybody remember that, drop a one. I want to see how many of y'all remember that. That is, I had to put that up on the screen because I thought I was, y'all, I started feeling like I was living in the Mandela effect. I promise y'all, I started feeling like I was living in a Mandela effect. I'm like, I know I heard some stuff in the beginning, and where is it at? I can't find it. It's like I'm the only one that heard it or saw it. Oh God, thank you. It's so many of y'all remember that. They said it was so hard to basically investigate this case because she was seen in different hotels. I thought I was the only one that remember that. It was definitely powerful info, peace and love. But it was a lot of us that remember that. Yep, Southern Roots, exactly. Yes, I heard it. Yes, Didi, several hotels. I heard that myself. Y'all, it got me to the point to where I started thinking that I was living in a Mandela effect. Okay, if y'all don't know what that is, look that up. I started saying, Lord, I mean, am I the only one? Am I living in outer space? Am I from Mars and everybody else from Venus? Like, what the heck is going on? Because I knew I heard stuff in the beginning. And the things that I was hearing in the beginning, I remember it so clearly because this is the stuff that I would speak to my husband about and cry about at night. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on with this case? So I know I heard that. That's why he had to put his comment up there because I definitely heard that. Powerful info. I can't stop thinking about when the girls are walking in, but Kanika looks kind of distanced from the group, like her image was just placed there. And that was also something that we was looking at in the very beginning. And I think it was said by, a couple of YouTubers. I know one in particular that was actually showing how you can remove her, how she can easily be removed, placed there, all of that stuff. That's from computer tech savvy people. And that's just not me whatsoever. And because I also remember the police saying that they didn't even see her on footage as far as her being there at the hotel. Do y'all remember that? Drop me a one if y'all can remember that the police was saying at one point that she never even went in there. I want to know who remember that. I want to know who remember that. Nobody remember that when it was said in the beginning that Kanika never even, they didn't even spot her walking inside the hotel. Okay, I see some ones. So yes, I do remember it was a YouTuber that put out the digital imagery. Truth be told, I do remember that was actually being looked into and investigated. So, I just really don't know. You know what I'm saying, for a fact. If that is the case. But like I said, because I'm not computer tech savvy when it comes to stuff like that. But what I did was over here, and I took this from Tupac. I was working with the scraps I was given. So really with me, I just worked with the scraps that was given to me. And so I tried, in my mind, it was like in my mind, I had a 1,000 puzzle piece, right? One of those that come in a box where it's just 1,000 pieces of a puzzle. So in my mind, the way my mind operates is I'm trying to connect this puzzle together of the little scraps and the little pieces that was given to me. And I'm trying to present that to y'all. Like, here, I put my little piece of the puzzle together. Not the whole big picture, but my little piece of the puzzle that was given to me. Here you go. But I think that what we have to do is take the puzzle pieces that was put together by Trey Gang, that was put together by John Q and other YouTubers, put it all together. And I'm talking about the trusted ones, the ones that was actually, the one that actually might have some valuable information to stand on. And I'm not going to just throw names out there because, there's a lot of people out there that do a lot of hard work and they have been at this for a long time. 54 Keys. I love her. I love her. But I think that it's really important, if we was to sit at the round table and kind of put our pieces of the puzzle together and align those together, we'll probably had a big picture, y'all. Okay, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Notice how all the girls are walking and the police walking the same air mirrors, the girls spacing all. Yeah, I did notice that, Tia. I did notice that. Like they was reenacting her footsteps or they footsteps. You know what I'm saying? Which makes you kind of wonder, were they doing that so they can kind of like create a narrative? You know what I'm saying? Were they doing that so they can kind of create this paperwork that kind of aligns with the edited footage? I don't know, but I noticed that as well. What happened to the video of her walking out with the guy Mike and them right out the spin doors and she looked back? Oh yeah, Brookie. You talking about right before when she was like in the kitchen area and it was like somebody grabbed her? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about when it was a person dressed in blue jeans, which goes to show y'all that it was some other girls there dressed like her. It was the person that was dressed in blue jeans that was walking with Ty Rowland. And they walked outside. And the girl was walking drunk. Drop me in one if y'all remember that. She was walking like she was drunk, walking like Kanika. Now it was a lot of things that was really suspicious to us, and the reason why it was so hard. It still is so hard for all of us to kind of put this information together because it was a lot of stuff that just like threw you all the way off. And this girl was like doing a drunk walk, looking just like Kanika, but I knew it wasn't Kanika because her hair was kind of shorter. Remember, y'all, her hair was a little shorter than Kanika's. But for somebody to just come into this case and look at this case, they would think like, there she go right there. She walked out the door. She left with them. Right? They would think that and Ball-Balls. Thank you, Watch Out Squad. Then you had Ball-Balls dressed in the blue jean jacket and pants who just came in and did a cameo appearance. So nobody can say it was not other girls there dressed according to the theme other than Kanika and her small circle. Because who the hell is Ball-Balls? I still haven't identified her. I just know 54 Keys gave her that name. That's the name we've been calling her. But who is she? And why she just make a little quick cameo appearance? It looked like they told her to get up out of here because you got on some beige Timberland boots. You ain't even really stick to the script. Girl, get up out of here. You got your hair in balls, or it could have been just to throw the camera off. Remember when R. Kelly would take all of his girls who he was sex trafficking or whatever, when he would take all his girls out into the public, he would have them all to dress alike. And they all had to look down to where they face wouldn't be on the camera. R. Kelly is from Chicago. That's what I'm trying to say is this is a thing that they all, pretty much do. You see what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. He used to take all his girls out into the public and make sure they all was dressed alike. And they could not look up. They had to look down so their face wouldn't be caught on the camera. So this type of slick move is something that I believe, that a lot of the gangs do. And that's just from my observation, y'all. The girl was walking out the lobby and she kept looking back like they was following her. Yeah. The cover-up began before the crime. Oh yeah. They had to know about the cover-up because they knew it was gonna be a crime if they was already preparing for a cover-up. Who is the crippled girl walking in with Ty? Never seen her anymore. Exactly. That's something else. I'm trying to read a few of y'all. Even Davion wore all jeans, right? I didn't even think about that. That's why I said some people was given a memo to wear all jeans. They was given a memo. That was Ty's sister or cousin I saw in a clip yesterday. She crippled but looked like she was walking drunk like Kanika. Exactly, Mika. It did look like that to me. It really did. And the way she kind of, bumped up against the rail and grabbed the rail, it really did look like she was kind of like walking like Kanika to me. Y'all remember the Essence article where Kanika told her when KJ told her mom she was going bowling, then it got switched to the movies by her cousin, then ended up at the party. I don't know if I remember that. I don't know. Drop me a one if y'all remember what Southern Roots just put out. I wish I was too, Lady J. I wish I was too. That's okay. I'm gonna skip down a little bit. Exactly, because one thing about Baba is my son said he saw her in the kitchen in that girl's video that she captured from the news, but I could never see an image of her in that video. I think that the girls was pointing out, I want to say Bree in the kitchen, but hey, they might have seen, somebody might have seen Baba's down there too. I don't remember. And yes, thank you for that, Mika. R. Kelly married Aaliyah in Rosemont. Married a young Aaliyah in Rosemont. So I'm telling y'all, this is not just a coincidence. This is stuff that, you have an undercover type of world and lifestyle that if you're not a part of a gang or the cult, if you're not, a part of this particular lifestyle, it would just be off to you. You just really wouldn't understand what's going on or why they move the way they move or do certain things or who's connected to who or who's covering who. It just wouldn't make sense to you. And this is why some people actually look at the numbers and the numerology and the geometry to kind of see if there is a cult type of connection to it. If this is something that the higher ups is a part of, that's the reason why people look into stuff like that. Because like I'm telling y'all, it wouldn't make sense if you was just looking at it from the natural eye. Like, always have respect for you and your channel. Thank you, truth be told. I love you, sweetheart. I got to get up out of here, y'all. See, that was suspect to me. Either she was going bowling or movies. Yeah, people saying that. People drop ones and they saying they remember hearing that. I think the story changed a lot in the very beginning, y'all. And it's still changing. It's still changing to this day. Pay attention. They are really trying to confuse us. The story is still changing. Did y'all hear Monique in her laugh? She said Lenore flat irons her hair. I'm like, your hair wasn't even hanging, boo-boo. And then for her to say, I wasn't even gonna go, but Kanika, convinced me to go, and that Kanika wasn't even gonna go to the movie. With some text message where Kanika said that she was going to go because Irene was pretty much talking her into it, or getting on her nerves about it. Do y'all remember those messages, those text messages that came out? Where Kanika was like, where I'm thinking I'm gonna go to Irene's party because she basically, I don't know if I forgot, I seen it a while ago, but she basically getting on my nerves about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to her part. You see what I'm saying? So if it was talk about movie or going bowling, maybe she had that spiritual sense that she shouldn't go and I should just go to the movies tonight. You get what I'm saying? But prior to her having that invite to the movies and that spiritual sense, she had already made her mind up that she was just gonna go to the movies. Go to Irene's party because Irene had really been, trying to persuade her to go. Right, Tia? Like, what happened to your hair? You talking about your hair was flat ironed. What happened to it? That's why they tell us out of towners to stay out because they have evil workings we could never understand. Exactly. Thank you. Let me pin this real quick. Let me show this. That's important for us to understand, okay? Because I don't think that they expected for us to do as much as digging as we did. And that's the reason why they want us out of towners to stay out of their business, stay out of their mix, because they know it's a lot of evil workings and things like that that's being done that, that the public is not supposed to understand. If you're not a part of it, it's a reason why they keep to secrecy, why they hold secrecy, why everybody upholds secrecy, not just because, snitches get stitches. Yeah, of course, that's a huge part of it too. But also because, We live in a sacred type of life. We have a lot of things that's going on in the dark that y'all not even supposed to know about. That ain't none of y'all business. It's not supposed to be light shined upon it because we get money, we getting paid, we living our best life, and we got to keep this stuff, in under wraps, on the low. Y'all not supposed to know about it. So mind your business. I'm gonna read one more comment and I'm gonna go ahead and end this live because I really do got to get up out of here. You right, there was different sizes of women there to throw people off. Thank you, Hazel. Put your comment up here too. Thank you. And see, people refuse to believe that it was other girls there dressed like Kanika because there's been so much that been put out there about lookalikes and so they like, I'm not even gonna go down that road. But you have to. You can't ignore certain things. You have to compare the many people that was dressed like her and look at the different sizes and shapes and how one girl was with Ty. Y'all said it was her sister. I didn't know that. One girl was with Ty, dressed just like Kanika, walking like Kanika, but her hair was different. You see what I'm saying? Her hair was shorter. We cannot overlook that stuff, y'all. Once we can accept certain facts, then we can move forward. And once we can, admit certain things, was just crazy. Even if we don't want to admit it because we don't want to sound like we crazy or don't want anybody else to think we crazy and we want to just stick to the script or whatever, we have to admit that some of this stuff happened. Like I said, take it back to Genesis, y'all. Don't get to Revelations and think you got the full story. Do not. Go back to Genesis and read Genesis to Revelation all over again. Once you get the Revelations, take it back to the beginning. Because I'm telling you, you will get a different revelation every single time you go back to the beginning to the end. Every time you will get a different revelation. How many out there hear me? Drop a one. And I know because I'm a Bible thumper. I'm a Bible reader. And every time I read from Genesis to Revelation, I get different revelations, from every time I read it. So I got to go ahead and get ready to get up out of here. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you guys for joining me today. Y'all feel me? You get a different revelation every time. So we have to sometimes go back to the beginning and be like, wait a minute. What happened to when that article came out? Or what happened to when that footage came out in the very beginning? Or what? We have to do that, y'all. If not, then they gonna have us living in the Mandela effect and acting like it never happened. If you stick with me, we're gonna always remember the basics. We're gonna always stick to the basics. And we're gonna get probably a different revelation every time we go back and look at Genesis to Revelation. We're gonna always do it, and we're gonna always get a different revelation until God say, come together, it's closed, it is so, well job done, my good and faithful servant. We're gonna keep doing what it is we do. Okay. Love y'all. I got to get up out of here. You guys have a blessed rest of the day. Okay, I'll see BB. I'll check my my FB inbox when I get back. Love you guys. I'm out of here. Got to get my kids from school. Go back to the beginning. Have a blessed, safe day, you guys.